Pro Group Racing presents Show Us Your Tips with a midweek preview of Sandown on a Wednesday. The sun is out in Western Sydney. There's hope for the Golden Slipper. And the Kenzo winning on the Thursday afternoon, which will take place again on a heavy track. We'll see how that comes up. Beaver, how are you, mate? A big day at Mornington for you.
Yes, mate. Got a few winners at Mornington. Quite to my surprise, it was a tricky affair.
Yeah.
So pretty happy outcome for the day.
Yeah, as I was saying, shot the lights out at Mornington, but we get to Sandown today. There's a bit of rain on the way there. Scratchings haven't been too bad. Actually, it's currently a good four. I did and the forecasts improve. I was looking at a softish track, but we'll see how we go throughout the day. Lakeside can turn around when weather does, or can fall apart a little bit with weather playing a part there, but looks like we're going to get through the day okay, Beaver. Let's just run through some of our best bets for the day.
100%, mate.
I thought we can kick off with a winner in the first, though. I thought the Mike Moroney trained horse, Michigan's been pretty good at its first two starts. Both were on rain-affected tracks. Should roll closest to the pace and be hard to beat in a pretty weak affair. Any thoughts in the first?
No, mate, I left the first alone. Thought it was just a bit of an open affair, but Michigan looks hard to beat. But I'll let you get the punters off to start with that.
No problem. I skipped straight to race 3 after that. Anything from the girls in the race 2?
Nothing for me, mate. I skipped straight to race 3 as well.
What'd you like here?
Mate, I went for something at a little bit of value here. I thought it was a pretty open race. I'm looking towards a horse like Smokin' Romans.
Okay.
Very early in its career, showed some form. The first 2 runs back from the spell here, they don't look ultra impressive on paper, but they weren't as bad as that. So it was only a couple of lengths off the winner, even though it came 9th last start behind Kip Keita. And prior to that, wasn't the best run first up, but was carrying big weight. Again, look, I think it gets a right run here. Should be at its peak fitness. This isn't a difficult affair. And I think this could just show up at a little bit of odds around the $7-8 mark.
Oh, nice find there. I went back to I went with the favourite here, Prince of Helena. That was pretty good. Chasing home 2, decent enough horses for Reddy and Galactus on an on-pace day. Before that was pretty impressive coming from last. I'd want to see ground being made, but I think around the $4 marks are really good here. And dropping slightly back in grade, I think. So that's the one for me here. Race 4 over the 1,200 meters. Any opinion, Beaver?
Yeah, look, I'm going to go for the Billionaire. I tipped it as one of my best bets when it was scratched a couple of weeks ago with the heavy track. Gets the right run here. Couple of kilo claim for Will Price. Look, I think Billionaire is probably my best bet of the day.
Yeah, I'm with you. The money for it that day at Moonee Valley was, like, they backed it from 9 o'clock and just kept packing it all the way through till it was scratched. I think it opened around $5 or $6 and was $2. It was close to even money by the time it came out. I think that's good. A good sign that this is a horse, a bit of talent off a dominant win. I was worried if the rain did come, they might scratch again, but looks like it hasn't. I think this is a good way to kick off. And I think there's question marks over the second favourite. So for me, actually, no, quite the street's favourite, but I think around a $3.20, Will Price is riding, particularly at Sandown, really well. And I'm with you there. The first leg of the quarter is race 5, and I will, perhaps against my better judgment, forgive Charm School. I thought was given no chance. Just couldn't get out. Had about 3 cracks at trying to get out, and when it finally did, was okay. Treat that as a trial, and slightly back in grade again, I think, here. And last chance, but I think it's time now. We might see the real Charm School, especially at the price. I'm surprised, to be honest. Usually when you see those sort of runs, they go up much shorter, and you get an each-way price here. I think it's a decent bet.
I like the find, Daggy. I found Charm School as well. I thought its first up run was pretty reasonable, actually. It only finished a couple of lengths off. Redeal was well in the market. missed the kick, it's hardy away, and didn't have a lot of luck in the straight. So I don't think it really got wound up. Gets its chance here today. Nice value in an open affair.
Yeah, I agree. It's a nice one halfway through the day. I am going to shoulder arms to race 6. I have no interest in that race at all. How about yourself? Cool. We do get to benchmark 70, race 7. I will not overly keen, but in a whitish race here, I'm going to play the Nigel Blackiston horse Kansai each way, or either around the $8 mark, and just an honest horse that's going to lightly roll forward and in a race of similar sort of horses. I think he's just an honest one to give us a decent side here. How about yourself? Any interest here?
Oh, yeah, mate, I like the favourite here. I thought it was pretty impressive last start. It was knocking on the door, got its chance last start, sat just off the pace, and had all the favours, but geez, it went past them quite nicely, and I expect it probably gets a very similar run here. 2100 suits. Craig Williams aboard, probably just sits behind him and gets a crack in the straight. So I think whether they're coming from the back or sitting up front, it's going to be horse to beat here for sure.
Great. Let's finish off the day with just having a look here. Scratchings have all come through, but now quite short. But I think the favourite's a horse to beat in the last acceleration. Came from a long way back first up and just missed. Fundraisers a Saturday class horse at least, who's flying, just missed there. There's now a lot of the traffic come out of the race and you're still getting close to even money. I think it's a good way to finish the day.
Yeah, 100%. I think both the two flags and the last and second last are nice bets.
Beautiful. Quick summation here. We'll quickly kick off. Acceleration for me, best of the day. And I'll make Charm School my value bet around a $6.50. I like the price is held up for now. And we'll see how that goes. How about yourself?
Yeah, mate, I've made Charm School my value bet of the day as well. So lot riding on us there. And my best bet comes in race 4, number 6, the Beer.
Very good. Let's head to anything we'll wrap up the rest of the day. Anything in Queensland today? I haven't even looked if they're racing there.
No, I haven't. I think they're off there, mate. I didn't do any form there when I looked last night. So nothing for Queensland for me today, mate. Just straight into Kenzo tomorrow.
Beautiful. So we are at Kenzo with the rail 5. We've seen times when it gets really heavy at Kenzo, the pattern doesn't kick in and it stays very much on pace. I'm treating it as normal Kenzo. I think it does dry quite well. I'm thinking we get to probably an 8 by tomorrow, heavy 8 or 9 at least, which I know there's a lot of water there, but of all the tracks in Sydney, it's the hope of any drying within the day.
And they haven't had as much rain on the coast there as what we have out in the west.
No, a lot of it's been, centralised here. So I am going to leave the first one alone, though. A lot of questions there. A couple of nice trialers, but on heavy tracks and everything, too good for me, that one. Anything in the first?
Yep. Nothing for me, mate.
In the second, pretty keen on the favourite, actually. Trifaccia.
Me too.
Who does have a setup here on a soft track behind Bourbon Flyer on debut, then went to Randwick on that leaders track and just missed behind. Well, Renan was the only one making ground behind Swift Witness and Glistening, who have both gone to the slipper. This is back to midweek grade. And for me, blue colours best of the day here. If it handles the wet, I think it'll win.
Same for me, mate. Got nothing more to add. Like what you found.
Race 3, we have a 1300 metre maiden. Have you any thoughts on this race?
No thoughts for me on this race, mate. I'll let this one go through. Been quite selective at Kenzo tomorrow at this stage, mate.
Yeah, I think, and it's worked well for us at Kenzo in the last few weeks. Even with our own betting, we've just picked the eyes out and it's worked quite well. And I think it's a good way to play tomorrow. 2 for me, I'll mention at odds. The trial of Pretty Elsa was both trials were quite good. The wet track trial, though, was sensational. Rolls forward here, and I think will be hard to beat around the $5 mark. And the one at odds that will be back in the ground, this will depend on track bias if there's one established this early today. Something High was in some reasonable races. First up had form through Isafar and I think Kiku. A few horses have gone on to town, and just off two very, very quiet trials. Nash booked around $10 mark, I think, can run well as well. So they're the two.
Yeah, everybody else is into about $4 now, mate. So
Yeah.
some people have found that similar form as you in the trial.
Yeah, no, it was a very, especially on the wet, it was a nice trial. We see the Spruik horse of the day lost and running back in race 4 over the benchmark 78 over 1100 meters. Are you with it, Beaver?
I think it should be winning. It's a bit short odds, mate, but look, looks to have a bit of ability. Hard to tip against.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't take $1.50, so I won't be betting. Trying even money, I'll think about it. I think Stolen J can improve, but no interest in betting against a favourite. I also don't want to back it, so I guess I'll be watching that race by and large. Race number 5 we're up to is the staying race, which we saw basically the whole field go around against each other at Kembla Friday week ago. Never mind. Alacan's is scratched. Alacan, I was going to say, did start favourite and was in the wrong part of the ground. It's now come out. So disregard this race for me. I think Savvy Valentino was okay there. Can probably run similarly, but
Move on, mate.
Move on. Race number 6. Anything here, Beaver?
Look, I think the top two have it between himself here. I think it's Jojo Was a Man was very good first start. Should only be improved by that. So leaning slightly towards that. But Kiku was very, very impressive first start, but let down nicely. Gate 15 is a bit of a worry, but look, I'm Jojo Was a Man, but I'd be saving on Kiku at $5. I think you can play this as an 80-20 bet race. Put 80% of your stake on Jojo and the other 20% on Kiku, and you won't be missing out.
Okay, great. The one or maybe for your multiples, because the market was right here. I agree with you that. I thought California Seaball returned with a nice win at Kembla, and then has had a nice trial since on the heavy track. We got through it quite well, and around the $13 will be. It's my value play of the day, but I don't necessarily have it on top just because I struggled to really stand anything else. I've got Jojo on top as well. It was a nice debut. I think a good horse. I think this is a Saturday race, and I think the format of it, there's probably 4 horses here I would have backed in any other race. Put it that way. So, but Jojo on top, I agree with exactly what you've said, but Seaball, maybe one for your multiples there. Race 7 to benchmark 78 over the 1550, another cracking race. How have you split these ones up?
Yeah, really good race. Fair. I've gone for Isafar. I think it can come across and lead, get control, carrying 54. So some of the other main horses in the market have got to give it 4 or 5 kilos, which is a good weight pull on a heavy track. We know it'll handle the track. And for that reason and that reason alone, at around the $8 mark, I think Isafar can give us a good sight. Bit of a question mark around horses like Mr. Dependable and Akana on the heavy tracks. Cyclone probably the hardest to beat.
Yep. I like your thoughts there. Isafar's best win was Melbourne Cup Day on the heavy track here as well. So tick there. I agree with what you said. Saigon was a sensational return. And that form has been franked through the horse that went to the Guineas, and the Kiwi horse, the Irishman. So that's held up. And Arcana's 2 best wins were on heavy tracks, where it let down like a star. So they're the 3. I like the way you've said that. If I'm putting them in order, it'll probably just be Saigon from Isafar, but Isafar's a horse I've always had a bit of an opinion of. And we finish off with, nothing really for me in the last. What about yourself?
Nothing for me as well, mate.
I want to pot the favourite slightly, but the 2 lightly raced horses is usually where I default in a race like this: Rainbow Connection and Green Flash, both coming off debut wins, but 0 confidence. So I will be heading to the bar by this time, from allowed of the house at that time of night. Your best and value at Kenzo.
Yeah, race 2, number 8.
Yep.
Trifaccia.
Yep.
if that's how you say it, and race 7, number 12, Isifa.
Very good. I'm with you with Trifaccia. Pretty keen. It's going to run really well there. California Seaball for the about $13 for all the reasons I mentioned. A value play in that race. And that'll do us for progroupracing.com.au. That's show us your tips midweek run through scamper of some wet track racing tomorrow. We'll be back on Friday afternoon to discuss hopefully the slipper. It's blue sky. The forecast is much better. No rain now till Monday. So heavy track racing, but we're on. I'm pretty confident, Beaver. So I'll see you then to talk all things Golden Slipper and Bendigo, I think.
Looking forward to it, mate.
Catch you then. Good luck, punters.